this sub-reality that we reside in, everything temporarily. It just comes and goes, comes and goes. It has no substantial value. We are the subjects of consciousness, and everything that around us is objects. So when we see something, in this combination, I see, the reality is I, myself, and what I see is illusory. Everything that we see is temporary, but me, myself, who sees, perceives, observes this, is reality. So when you move your weight from temporary to eternal myself, then you realize that your life is eternal, but it is divided by illusory barrows, which is called birth and death. But in illusory state of consciousness, we think that with birth something begins, and with death something ends. But when we realize that the observer or the conscious being is eternal, then these births and deaths are just imaginary barrows, imaginary marks of your eternal line, which is called life or existence. So like when we go to sleep, we don't suffer of losing our existence, because we know that in the morning we would wake up again, and the existence will not cease. It will continue, though for some time we were in kind of unconscious state. So similarly, we realize that when our life ends, it does not terminates the existence. We will wake up again, but maybe not tomorrow, but after what we call death. So then the peace of mind comes to you. When you're eternal, you don't have to hurry, and you don't have to worry about temporary things. When you completely involved in computer game, and you are shot by billions, by monsters, you are shot. So if you completely engrossed in there, then you suffer from fear of being dead. You suffer from the fear of losing your position, because they shoot you and you see the scale of your health is decreasing. your health is falling down, so you have to take some packet of food there in computer game to rejuvenate yourself. But if someone entering the room reminds you, oh, this is just a computer game, just combination of pixels which are lead and then fade away and lead again, fade away. It's just now they say the virtual reality. Actually, it's not virtual reality, it's illusory reality. So when you detach from the computer game, that new life that you gain once you put your computer on, then you realize that you are sitting in the room with your well-wisher, with your friend, with someone who eternally follows you and eternally there to give you a hand, to give you help. So Krishna in Gita says that the conscious being is sitting or changing its positions on the tree called material world, changing branches and tasting bitter or sweet fruits, which are results of his activity. And there is one friend who is always behind him, looking and wishing well. And when that bird that experiences his activity, the fruits of his activity, when he turns his face again to his friend, that super friend or super soul, then he feels relief. Then he realizes that, oh, I am eternal, and there is my eternal, I am Atma, and here is my eternal friend Param Atma. So we are these birds, we are experiencing life after life, the false reality. But our well-wisher is always here, though we don't see him, but sometimes we can perceive or feel his presence. And how to realize it? It's we can wait when he reminds us, but it may take a long time, and very long time. Or we may jump to the branch where the birds of wisdom are sitting. They are called sadhus. So if we pull ourselves into the community or into the sangha, society of those who have realized their position, their eternal position, then we have bigger chance. Actually, we have really good chances to realize the things that they have done. Same things, you know. You know, when you try to look at some far away, some distant object, you may try to notice it, but it's very small. You don't see the details, or you hardly see the position or even existence of that distant object. But when you are associated with those who have a telescope, they may share this telescope with you, and then suddenly you see the object that you're looking for. So our religion is to be in contact, to be in association with those who have realized that already. So Krishna in 4th chapter, verse 34, he says, Tad vidhi pranipatina pariprashna sevaya. I forgot. Gyaninas tattva darshinaha. He says, if you come into association with those who already darshana tattva darshanaha means those who already perceive that tattva, that truth. If you come into association with them, they may share, they may impregnate you with the knowledge that they have. Tat vidhi pranipatina. So pranipatina means, make your life, or make them your life essential associate. Pranipatina, or like be in association. Let this that sadhu become a life member of your existence, something very important to you, and then they may share the knowledge. They will by some way they will give this knowledge to you. And then suddenly you realize, oh, this existence, this environment is really temporary. It's just a vibration of my mind that made these objects. Something like that. So it's very essential for our practice to be in association with those who tattva darshanaha, sadhu, those who see the truth, darshanaha tattva. So this is what our Lord Shri Krishna tells us, his advice. Ask him questions, those who see the truth. You ask him questions, and follow their orders. Pranipatina. Follow the words. Obey. Pranipatina. And then everything is easy. Don't challenge them, otherwise they will not share their knowledge. It's like if you go to school, like music school, you want to learn how to play violin or piano, whatever. If you challenge your teacher, he will remain polite, but he will not share subtle things of his art. So you may stay as long as you want with them, but you will not get any benefit. But if you follow his order, like do homework or play A, B, C, D, whatever, then you will get the mercy. And one day, it is called Vaidya Bhakti, when you follow the order of those who are virtuoso, those who experts in playing these music instruments, or painting, or writing prose, or painting, whatever. So this is called Vaidya Bhakti. You follow the orders, and suddenly you find yourself able to play it by yourself, and without being ordered from outside. Something inside you appears, something spring out from somewhere and gives you the life how to play improvisation, how to play by yourself. You don't need A, B, C, D notebook. You just play by yourself, and you enter the stage of Raga Bhakti. You play by intuition, by following your inner emotions, inner feelings. And then you realize that the instructor or the tutor that was a master of yours who ordered you do this, do that, then you realize that he's your chief playmate. You follow him because he plays, or she, in our clan we call her she. She just plays some loving pastime, and she doesn't give you orders, but you feel, you realize what would be the next step and what would be the next motion in accordance with her will, without being ordered. It's called it is called harmony, or be in sensual union with her will. She does not manifest her will, but you follow her will. In our philosophy or in our doctrine, we call it to follow the steps. It is not literally follow the steps. Sometimes it follow the steps, but follow the steps means without being ordered, you know where to move, to follow their steps. Rupa and Sanatana, they are the chief playmates in the group. So to follow their steps means to know where to go, to know the next playground, the nature of playground and where it's going to happen, and the movements of that play, next play. Because it's always changing. Krishna's mood is always changing. He is Nava Krishna, always new. It's not like every day or every second he okay, let's play the same thing. No, he is so devouring. He wants more and more. He wants new. Every single moment he wants to enjoy something new. And there are experts which are called the leaders of the clans of that group. They are experts. They know how to, under the guidance of the person number one, she person number one, they know under her guidance how to deliver the new and the best enjoyment to his mood. So it's very subtle. Anyway, we just touched this topic, this subject. So it is step by step. First, you realize that you are eternal observing subject, the conscious subject, and there is nothing to be scared of. There is nothing to fear of. This is the first condition, and that condition is established by Sri Shuka. He told, in the beginning, he told Parikshit Maharaj, yes, I will tell you about the essential points of your life, the purpose of your life, and the highest goal and motivation. I will tell you everything, but first condition, you have to get rid of animal mentality. And what is the key feature of animal mentality is to fear about your positions and about your obsessions. The animals, they they are always in state of fear of losing what they have earned. The hall, the house, the flock, the close fellows. They are always in fear. And if we are in the position of similar or the same fear, then we are not different from the animals. We are just, we have different shape, different form of our body, but the consciousness is the same. So Sri Shuka, the son of Vyasa, tells his listener, his disciple, and the audience, first you have to, I'm going to tell you, he doesn't say 10th chapter, 10th canto, but he says, after some time, I will tell you something very relishable, something sweet, something that is real purpose of existence, and something that is attracting even Atmaramas. So you have, but first you have to get rid of this fear. You have to become Muni, Atmarama, and Nirgrantha. So he says this in first canto in 7th chapter, Atmaramascha Muni. So you have to become Muni. One who is Muni is actually one who always silent. That means he has nothing to say about things that he observes. Muni means nothing is surprising to him. He is not surprised by any movements of the environment. Muni, nothing to speak about. So Shuka was the Muni. He never spoke a word because there is nothing to speak about. What is this to speak about? Muni. Then Atmarama, to be self-satisfied or to be independent. Atmarama, to be independent in yourself, to feel content. You don't need to look outside. You don't need to get some external things, some external positions or achievements. You don't need that. Everything that you need for your existence is within yourself. This is called Atmarama. And finally, Nirgrantha. Nirgrantha, one who is not burdened by anything. Nirgrantha. He has nothing on his shoulders. He has no position in this world. He has no wealth in this world. He has no followers. He has no admirers. He has nothing. He is Nirgrantha. He removed all burden of this world from his shoulders. So Shuka says, first you have to become Nirgrantha, Muni, and Atmarama. Then you will be enthralled. Then you will be surprised. You would be moved by something unusual, which is called Rupa. Rupa of Urukram, or one who does miracles. Urukram, his steps, his ways are miraculous, fantastic. If you have some burden on your shoulders, if you if you keep being surprised by external movements, then you will not be surprised by Urukram, by Krishna. So first realize that there is nothing to lose. nothing to gain here and nothing to lose here. And you're eternal. So that the existence does not cease to be when you lose your position. When you actually, it's like when you fall in coma or unconscious state, you don't lose your bank account, right? So, okay, if you go to bed, if you fall asleep, next day you still have your bankings. You still have your job. It's not like where you go to your job, your doctor, so you go to your hospital and they say, last time you fell asleep, so you're not doctor anymore. No, it's not. So, same, when we lose our senses, sometimes people call it death, When you lose your touch senses, you're not dead, right? Sometimes happens that people lose the essential, how do you call it, touch of sense of touch, but they still alive. But let's presume that next moment they lose the eyesight. Will they die? No. Okay, let's presume they lose the tongue sense, the sense of taste. Again, they alive. So when they lose all their 5 senses, they still alive. But actually, people call it death. When you lose all your 5 senses, then you are dead. So when we die, when we lose our body, it's explained, it's depictured in Srimad Bhagavatam in 5th canto, that the process of death, I think 5th, okay, anyway, the process of death, step by step, the person loses his senses, and then he is in position of he feels he is alive, but he cannot feel anything. He still can think, he still can contemplate on meditate on certain things, but there is no sensual disturbances from outside. So he lies down in his bed and he cannot feel anything, but he still can think. And then the images that he collected along his life, the images start fade away. First, he can think of them, but then he can think only of names of that images, and then even names he stops to recognize. So he can think only about his being, his existence, and himself. And suddenly someone appears and takes him away from his body. And he takes along with him the unit which is called mind, the thinking device which is called mind. He can think with it. And okay, then there is some process, then he enters the womb of some female, some mother, maybe dog or human or worm or a bird, anything, any living being. And then he sees the light of day again sometime, after breaking the egg or going out of the womb. Anyway, he sees the lights of day and it is shock, and he forgets about his past life time. So the Muni is one who understands that he just goes through the periods of darkened light, but it doesn't change his process of existence. And this is called the steps of spiritual life. It's very essential point of our existence, of our life, when we realize that we are not subject to death. The death is only temporarily lost, temporarily losing of the sensual experience, temporarily. It's like night and day. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we can finish over here. Thank you. I have to become a loyal subject of Her Majesty. This is my pass to that happy realm.
Can you sing some other things?
Jai Shri Gurudev, Jai Shri Gurudev.